Clowney went out, they don't have much of a pass rush anyway. And then once Clowney got knocked out, I guess it afforded the opportunity for the line to play a little bit better, but they got the job done. Again, very good day, I thought, in terms of tempo, scheme, play calling by Shane Waldron, finally utilizing the middle of the field a little bit more, some mesh concept stuff, freeing guys, open runners across the middle of the field. Like, it just looked so much better. It looked like such they look like such a competent offense. It's not always going to look as easy peasy when you go up in competition against better teams and better defenses, but it's good every once in a while just to have a game like that where you can kind of put it in cruise control. Everybody on offense feels good about themselves. Caleb goes over 300 yards for the second time in his young career. 2 touchdowns, no INTs, 126 quarterback rating. He is quarterback number 2 for the week with Mahomes and Derek Carr still to play. Obviously, the Monday Nighter, he is quarterback 2 in adjusted EPA per play for the week. So well done. Everybody on offense, and the defense played great. I saw Courtney Cronin tweet something, Yerk, from ESPN Stats and Info. The defense pressured the Panthers on nearly 49% of their dropbacks.
Wonderful.
That's the highest pressure rate in a single game for the Bears since ESPN started tracking that data back in 2009. So it's 15 years. That's how good it was. They did lose their starting right tackle and their starting center in that game. So a lot's going wrong for the Panthers, and the Bears took advantage in more ways than one because, of course, that second-round pick. Let's keep cheering for the Panthers to lose, and I think they'll do a lot of that in the back half of the season. So that's another good thing for the Bears after yesterday.
All right, let's get back to that Chuba Hubbard touchdown.
Okay, go ahead.
You ready?
Mm-hmm.
Eberflus said what? Everybody had their fits, or he said something like that. What happened is the left guard and the center folded a block. So they folded in on Chris Williams. The guard came down and pinned him. He was absolutely pinned. He wasn't fighting pressure with pressure. So he gets pinned. The center comes around, and he's up on TJ Edwards.
Yes, he was.
Okay, he's on it. And those guys who still have their depth, they weren't attacking the lineman of scrimmage specifically on that play. Okay, Billingsley, the backside 3.
Or Billings.
Billings gets double scooped.
Double scoop. Explain the double scoop.
Okay, the double scoop is he's in the 3 technique. Now, the guard's going to have the advantage of being there on you. He puts a shoulder into him and a forearm into him, and the tackle comes over, and he gets him scooped. So now he's scooped. He's beat. Now he's in panic mode. Now I got to run hell-bent for election across the line of scrimmage because I got to try to close that hole. He's the one that ends up trying to make the dive and ends up missing him. But him letting the guard off scot-free goes straight into our guy Tremaine Edmonds. And he takes Edmonds and just rides him out of the play. Yeah, Chuba Hubbard just cuts it back, and there is nobody there. And when I say nobody, there is nobody there. But the pinning of Williams and him not fighting the pressure to help squeeze it, the 95, what's his name?
Marcus Walker.
Walker lines up so far outside, they just kind of shield him out there and hold him where he's at.
Yep.
And now you got yourself a major chasm. They see it, the linebackers now. Okay, we got to get in here and fill it. But because of the free release of the backside guard and the fold of the center and the pinning of Chris Williams, they're in there. Chuba Hubbard didn't get touched on that play.
He didn't. He really didn't get touched.
There was a second play during the game that Chuba Hubbard had the same thing, and he fell. He tripped over his own feet, and he fell for a 5-6 yard gain. But that could have been Katie bar the door, too. So how do you adjust on that? 91's got to be cognizant of the fact that this could be a possibility. And when somebody blocks down on you and there's a fold, you've got to fight pressure with pressure. You've got to get into it. And Billingsley.
How do you avoid getting double scooped?
Well, how do you avoid by getting into the guard? So Billingsley got to come off the ball and get that right hand into the chest of that guard and flattens that guy. And he flattens that guy. That gives Edmonds a free roll to the hole and to the running back. Now there's nowhere to run. Why? Because your unblocked linebacker is sitting there going to smack you in the face. So that's what's going to happen. 52, they didn't even block. They ran some bootleg action with the quarterback, with Dalton, trying to keep the attention. And they did keep the attention of one of the defensive backs. And 52 was slow to recover, but it would have been impossible for him to make the play. This play needed to be made between Williams, Walker, your 2 backers, and Brisker, who was sitting back there too, but got shielded off because of all the traffic and the blocks and the bodies that were in the way. So that's what happened on that specific play. Your defensive tackles played it like crap. And because they played it like crap, the linebackers were in a very precarious situation because they had free releasers coming at them, the big boys, and they kept their gap integrity theoretically, but I'd argue Edmonds overran the play.
So -1 major breakdown that did result in a Carolina touchdown.
And the
defense played well.
The picture perfect breakdown of that exact play.
There you go.
Okay. Minus
Take that, coach.
Minus for Chris Williams.
Yes.
A minus for Billingsley.
Okay.
My guy, even though he got a sack later on in the game. Not bad.
Yeah.
Walker's too far wide. You've got to fight pressure with pressure and squeeze also. Or beat the guy right off the line of scrimmage and maybe get a dive in on it, get into the legs and maybe trip him up also.
One thing you'll notice too, and Abdallah had mentioned it during the break, as Jurko breaks down the personnel, no Sweat on the field, no Dexter on the field for that play either. So
rotation. They're going with the rotation.
Yeah,
they want to keep players active.
But again,
we always rotated. We rotated too.
The pressure that the defense did apply was impressive. They turned Carolina over 3 times. So more free wings at beat-ups for everybody.